Wrestling has always been a big part of my life, from my younger days of watching WWE highlights every Sunday on TV to forming my own wrestling quote-unquote company in 2012. Obviously back in high school I used to do WWE dances, but that was only the tip of the iceberg when it came to my old passion of wrestling. I say old because at 28 years old I can't be fucked with all of it anymore. It's one of my passions that has died out as I gotten older. I remember in primary school I was actually going to do this weird WWE promo thing for that specific year's talent show. How the fuck is that talent? I guess maybe through a weird form of acting. I wrote up a script that had multiple WWE or WWF as it was known back then superstars such as The Rock, The Undertaker, Kane, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I think Triple H was one, but I can't fully remember. Me and a few others were to act out the promo and fake fight each other, and every now and then one of us would get pinned and eliminated. Calling it cringe would be a massive understatement. Our group name was called out during that talent show, and we all just looked at each other and tried not to laugh. No fucking way was we going to perform in front of the whole school. The teacher kept calling us out and we kept not responding to it. And so the teacher moved on and the next actor was called up instead. Had we actually gone up on stage, we for sure would have been embarrassed. Over the years I have done multiple wrestling based things in my life. In 2006-2007 I joined a company known as FYW, also known as Front Yard Wrestling, with Ed, his best mate and a few others. Being accepted into it was the easiest thing I ever had to do, whereas most people could only join a wrestling company if they perform up to scratch and can handle taking the bumps and all. What I had to do was go into my auntie's place, which was next door to where FYW events mostly took place, and go up to my step-uncle and straight up ask him if he was a potato sexual. What the fuck that was, I have no idea, but I wasn't letting this opportunity pass me by. And so I went into my auntie's house and went straight up to my uncle. "Are you a potato sexual?" I asked him. To which in his usual way he responded with, "Aye, yes, aye." And from that moment on until my initial exit in 2012, I became known in the FYW as TLB, the little bastard, an Irish little shit that would often attack people randomly during their matches with a shillelagh. It was only until 2008 that I would gain my first ever championship title with current hardcore champion Fury, crazy bastard, but a guy with a heart of gold and always treated me with respect outside of the FYW. I'd beaten, I think, CID, a pretend police officer, to retain his championship, and out comes the little bastard with his Irish entrance music, which was Flogging Molly, Kiss My Irish Ass, and his infamous shillelagh, attacked Fury with a steel chair and went for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and I had won the hardcore championship. That was the last moment that FYW ever put on a show, because its members had life to concentrate on and have since disbanded. I am still technically the FYW hardcore champion and the longest reigning champ of over 15 years. In 2010, I remember me, Ed and Malcolm wrestling on Malcolm's trampoline, and we were doing flips and shit off of the trampoline and onto the stuffed bear. Like most people do, they wrestle inanimate objects, mostly teddy bears. It eventually came to being my time to do the flip, and I did it. Almost landing on my neck and potentially doing some serious fucking damage because of the angle I was at, but I did it. We would often wrestle on the trampoline for at least a couple of years. In 2012, FYW's active days of putting on shows was over, so both Malcolm and myself decided to leave and form our own company called the AWF, formerly known as Amateur Wrestling Federation, later rebranded as Attitude Wrestling Federation. And other than one point in 2013, when the AWF boys and the FYW lads would randomly have a match, AWF was mostly a WWE Games thing, where we would create arenas and superstars and put a show on for the WWE Universe. We was content with doing that, until one day in 2016 when a random dude by the name of Josh and his friends would show up and get us to start putting on matches on a trampoline in our back garden with the AWF and their company JJW. At first I was fine with it all. We set up storylines and we was going ahead with it, but then started to see the cracks. Most of JJW didn't know what the fuck they were doing, was too dangerous to work with and couldn't wrestle for shit. We tried to help them out, even offered to have some of their stars show up on AWF, which the main guy in charge accepted. But then when we started a storyline where AWF was mocking JJW in order to start a brand war between the two shows, their owner or co-owner, I don't fucking care what he referred to himself as, only gotten a fucking pissy over it. And I'm just here like, are you actually fucking kidding me? We're here to try to help you, prick. Then they proceeded to threaten to call the police on us. Like, how fucking sad must you actually be to do that over something pre-arranged between both parties? That, topped with the fact that I wasn't about to get injured or worse fighting someone who couldn't do a single move correctly, made a joint show idea, in my opinion, 100% not worth it. In the end, we had their two best stars come fight for us, Enigma 66, Josh, and Chaos. JJW popped up after a while to talk business once again, probably after seeing what we had done and wanting in on the action. I was fucking stupid to allow them back into the loop of it all. Again, they were fucking us around and causing drama, so from that point on, I wanted nothing to do with them. Some of the best matches that I've had was against Malcolm. Our rivalry was always a highlight for me during the AWF days, and boy, could he take a botched kendo stick hit to the back of the head. Sorry about that, that was hilarious. You could even see Josh in the video going in for the count of the pin, and then hiding his face to laugh in the video after Malcolm had kicked out of the pin. But the best lead up to the final match rivalry that I had was with FYW's very own Ed. Towards the end, I was done with AWF. We were losing people, and it came down to just 3 of us fighting, Josh, Malcolm, and myself. So I wanted to end things. Ed's career in wrestling went on for at least 13 years, hence why I came up with the idea of a career versus company match. His career was on the line, and my company was as well. If he was to lose, his career would be over. If I was to lose, AWF would be no more. In the lead up, I would always find a way to take the piss out of Ed and the FYW every chance I got. With that being said, Rise to Revolution 2017 finally came. The match that we had been working up to happened. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have enough in me to win that match. Therefore, ending the AWF there and then. That would be my last ever match. The last time that I'll ever wrestle, and it was an honour to have my last match with Ed. To this day, I'll always look back on the AWF and think fondly of it. I will always look back on the FYW and think fondly of it. Especially the one time where everyone was jumping off the front porch of the house and one dude got scared to jump, so I grabbed the ladder and ran off down the road with it. I'll always be grateful to everyone, except the JJW guys, for everything that happened over the course of my wrestling life. I don't watch wrestling now, and nor do I care about it. I'd still often play the games if I can actually be bothered to, but it's safe to say that that time of my life is now officially over, and that chapter of my life has been sealed, signed, and put away.